like sound work in there too. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey everyone, Robo. Hey,
Hello.
Hey Peter.
Raj.
Hey,
Hey
great to
guys,
see you.
hey Peter.
Hey,
Yay.
good to see all the names in the chat. We got Ashok, Kim.
Hello, Anuraj. Hello,
Hey.
Peter. Hi,
Hello,
Samantha.
guys.
Hi, Ross.
Hi,
Hey
David.
Ross. Samantha.
Hanaraj.
Great, so lovely
Okay,
to
chat.
see everyone. Yeah. Peter, you're always looking great. I know you've had a busy year.
Oh, it's so good to see you recovering well outside as well. Yeah, with the
Yeah,
shade.
yeah. Well, I know. Yeah, I'm taking it easy. Eyes are stable now, a little somewhat, but I've got the cataract coming up, which is normal. So I think after February I'll be feeling more normal, hopefully, after all that's over. So yeah, I've got to take it easy till then, and less strain. But yeah, all good. Keeping good spirits.
Nice.
Great.
Awesome.
Ashok, you're there? Ashok, I just saw your message.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi,
Yeah, thank you. I'll
very
join
early
you for
for you,
about
I think,
half
right?
hour.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll join you for about half hour. Thanks.
No worries. Yeah, great, Ashok. So lovely. So yeah,
Cool.
so wonderful that we were. I think end of the year. My God, so quickly. Unbelievable how quickly this year's gone. So just flown by. So
like
Peter,
time doesn't
Yeah.
exist, does it?
That's
It's
right.
just like, yeah, it's just such a interesting speed.
warp speeds. I know. Been a quantum year of so much of
It's like
thinking and
you're living in the metaverse, right? Same with Robo and all the team. The time is
I
sort of
know.
has a different Inception style time zones.
Yeah. I think everyone's getting a flavor of the metaverse in different forms, in at different layers of mind, sort of inclusions and with what's happening in the outside world. It's everybody has to ponder in to get that piece at some stage because
Yeah.
it's been quite a ride for everyone. Yeah.
I don't think I've met Kim before. I don't not him.
You haven't met Kim?
Maybe,
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Kim's. I'll let her introduce herself, but yeah, just so fortunate to have her as part of White Mirror. Yeah, Was Mirror.
Want me to introduce myself?
Sure, you can do a quick one.
Have to,
Kim.
yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Just fine. Just fine.
Yeah, I'm the founder and creator, inventor, CEO of Positive Prime Technology. So I live here in Noosa in the state of Queensland in Australia. We have about 30,000 members. They're global, most of them in North America, and all interested in neuroscience, positive psychology, change management. Most of those members look to us as a personal development, self-improvement kind of community based on consciousness and optimizing really the way that we think and feel. I have colleagues who are involved in what I've created, one of whom, Sean Acor, was teaching at Harvard University. He has one of the most successful TED Talks. I think if you Google like the top 10 TED Talks in the business category, Sean Acor's The Happiness Advantage is in there. Yeah, so that's what we do. And I'm in the process of creating a DAO backed by a token with an international community. And we generally have an educational and financial utility. And I do know that, Anuraj was like, you've got to meet Peter. And then 20 years ago, because I did see that you were KPMG, I was one of those very young and bright-eyed, driven management consultants in London and New York working in mergers and acquisitions. And so that's really where I came from out of business school. But anyway, this is where I am now.
You've seen the plight and now you've seen the light.
Yeah.
Do your own thing.
Yes.
That's awesome. No, it's great. That's fantastic to hear about your DAO as well. And yeah, definitely it's all happening in that space. And I think the metaverse and all these things around NFTs is going to give creators a lot of power, I guess. It's they're going to inherit all those virtual worlds. with the economics attached to it. So yeah, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, and you know, I think that there's also a movement that I'm picking up on that I want to satisfy, and that's around all the noise in the Great Resignation. So I through Anuraj spoke at the Wellness Workplace conference, whatever the actual official name is, and I listened to a lot of chief people officers or HR directors, and I think that they're so worried about this reaction that the world is having to this newfound perceived freedom working from home. And so there's an enormous number of people who are literally salivating over, wow, this could be a potential income opportunity and I could work from home. And I think that that's one of the reasons why there's this insatiable appetite for what's going on the blockchain. What is that thing anyway? Can I make money out of it? You know, can I be an ordinary person and play? What if I don't know anything about coding or engineering or tech, you know? So I think that I honestly believe that there are some other social movements that are impacting this space way beyond our wildest comprehension. And those of us who think that we kind of understand trends, I don't think we've seen anything yet.
Yeah, exactly. This is the beginning of something big, Web 3.0. And, you know, I think I can go through some slides around, you know, all that's happening. I think that's Anuraj will just give a quick overview. But yeah, I'd love to have a chat afterwards, Kim, on some of the things we're doing at TransHuman Coin and how we're moving to a DAO. And also my wife, Elise, is setting up a future DAO as well for the people that want to make impact investment by putting people together. And yeah, it's an amazing time to be alive.
Wow,
very exciting
thank
times.
you.
Yeah. And Peter, you must try out a Positive Prime. Also, you know, I'd love to get your feedback on that too. Yeah, because we're exploring a really interesting roadmap, and that's where came obviously now at this interesting juncture, you know, to explore crypto and to bring in the blockchain and of course the metaverse, which is everything coming together at just a synchronous moment, you know. And yeah, so perfect timing to have you back in, you know, and present. And yeah, all yours, Peter. Let's get started, I reckon.
Okay, great. I'll share my screen. Let me know if this is possible. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about Positive Prime. Great. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, all the buzzwords. I actually just presented this to Greater Bank, which is a rural bank in New South Wales. Yeah, I did that yesterday with Singularity Australia, so I feel like just leverage the slides for this one. As you might see, I might hide the faces, fortunately. Yeah, in terms of fintech, I mean, it's all happening. We've got WhatsApp essentially linking up. It's owned by Facebook, Meta, and then we've got the Novi money transfers happening for users in the US. We've got Jack Dorsey's Square, who you know, left Twitter to do more Bitcoin blockchain initiatives, and he's pivoting Square, the company, into Block. So it's going to be focusing on blockchain. Let's see. We got Josh Frydenberg also adopting most of the recommendations that were put forward by Stephen Bragg, Andrew Bragg, and his Senate Select Committee. All those consultations from industry that he's done to establish more certainty around licensing of crypto exchanges, establishing things like custody. I mean, right now people are buying the cryptocurrencies and moving it to their MetaMask wallets, as Anuraj, you've experienced. Once it's there, it's in a MetaMask wallet. Well, if you lose it, then that's gone. There's no custody or depository sort of regime for these digital assets. So that's all been agreed to be adopted by the Treasury. And, you know, this is actually going to become a bill coming up to the elections in May. So I've just spoken with Mike Pacino at Blockchain Australia, and he's like, this is a way to get the youth vote, right, 18 to 34. And it's going to make the Liberals stand out at the election. So they're going to take these consultation periods from now until May, go to the election, and then if they get elected in, the bills will go into Parliament. So yeah, that includes setting up an decentralized autonomous organization as a recognized company status. It's a new type of company status in Australia, and we'll be one of the first in the world. I think Wyoming DAO laws are one of the first. CGT, everyone loves to tax cryptocurrencies. I've got to find a way to make it clearly defined. Bitcoin miners, that got denied. So the 10% CGT discount, a company tax discount on renewable energy of 10%. People just, you know, weren't sure how to track that. So that was declined. And Treasury decided to review the policy on the review of this retail central bank digital currencies, like in the States, Robo, and you would know the US is also exploring a central bank digital currency, and this essentially, using similar technology as cryptocurrencies, but issued by the central banks, so Federal Reserve, Reserve Bank of Australia, and that will give more levers to monetary policy because you can do smart money just like you can with smart contracts with cryptocurrencies. But it means it'll have to be more centralized, and fiat will be able to combat these challenger currencies out there like Bitcoin and all the altcoins. Yeah, lots of things around due diligence that's been delegated to other parts of the consultation boards in Australia, but I'm sure like in the US, so there was a bunch of Senate hearings I saw, and yeah, it's going through a similar process. So it's getting to the mainstream. When you know that like people in parliament and in politics have to deal with it, it's hitting the mainstream. I think one in 6 Australians already trade cryptocurrencies. It's probably up to about 22% now since the last sort of peak. And you got privacy focused social media companies like Signal, which a lot of people left WhatsApp for, to also be using mobile coin as a way to transfer money on that. They just raised $66 million today. So a whole bunch of things. Twitter is already enabled tipping with Bitcoin. They're going to enable Ethereum and more altcoins. So Twitter might eventually become an exchange as well, on a social media exchange. But yeah, enabling that a bank account with just a Twitter account essentially.
Peter, I was just wondering, is WeChat also in the game there? Are they doing similar stuff?
WeChat is based in China, and China's banned cryptocurrencies. So
they have.
If anything, they'll have digital yuan, the central bank digital currency, coming out of WeChat.
Oh, okay. Right. Interesting.
Yeah. So the reason why China banned them is because it's a challenge to the central authority, and that way they can actually have more monetary and fiscal policy control. Just for the overseas guys' benefit, as the Australian Web3 landscape, we've got a whole bunch of crypto exchanges. Coinbase is here as well. But yeah, this is one of the main ones that are to trade on. So if you haven't tried already, they'll sign up to something like Independent Reserve or CoinSpot. Then you can transfer your cryptocurrencies like Binance Coin or Ethereum to your MetaMask wallet to do decentralized finance. There's really cool stuff happening with guys like Zrun, who are taking the horse racing industry to Web3 world. So instead of actual horses, you have these digital horses that are NFTs and sold on the platforms like OpenSea. And you can enter your horse into races to win competition. So you're a stable owner, right, as opposed to a gambler. And you can breed your horses. So you can actually use existing horses to create more horses. So horses for courses, but there's a whole bunch of things that are just, it's probably more akin to gambling, let's be honest. Like we're talking about speculation on races, but it's still better than, having to kill horses in real life. So when they get to a certain age or break their leg in the race, which is really cool. And CBA, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, is one of the largest banks, I guess, regionally. And they're going to be enabling the buying and selling cryptocurrencies through their CBA app. We've got the ASX, our stock exchange.
I just ask, Peter, does that mean that they're also going to be the kind of bank who's going to allow business banking accounts for blockchain related businesses?
That'd be interesting. I mean, I know the ASX will be. So ASX is replacing their chess system, but what they've built out is a distributed ledger platform. So they can work with businesses that are on Web3, and they can actually automatically do, settlements or self-securitized tokens on the exchange. That way it's all on-chain. So CBA wouldn't be too far away, given they already sort of do a lot of collaborations there, ComSec and ASX. So yeah, our head of blockchain, Laszlo Peter in KPMG, has been working with CBA and things and the ASX, and same with Macquarie Bank. They're all sort of looking at this stuff. They know that there's a lot of counterparty risk they can eliminate through blockchain, but whether it's something that is done as a permission blockchain, so there's a trust sum, but not everyone, or a public blockchain where everyone can just sign up, like and buy let's say a token of a company, that represents a security of the company. And we already see this in the market. Like synthetics, which is like, trying to use a synthetic version of the stock, but really it has no economic interest in that stock. You could do it by having an exchange hold the underlying shares and then tokenizing it to represent the underlying shares. But yeah, that's still not regulatory approved in Australia. So that's what all this bill going into the Senate is going to be. But yeah, should be cool once everything's on chain, right? Yeah, working with Blockchain Australia, like industry bodies. I'm not sure what's the equivalent in the US. Is there something like Coinbase is pushing for? Is it sort of an industry group, industry body? It's the equivalent over here. Same with BlackRock. All these guys are holding digital assets on the balance sheet. Superannuation funds. We're talking about trillions of dollars of assets under management. They're buying a certain percentage in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies as a hedge inflation. Thanks, Ashok. Good to see you, mate. Looking forward to catching up next time. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening. Like Afterpay, they got acquired by Square, and that's Square's sort of entrance into the Australian and also global market on buy now, pay later. And that's going to enable crypto rewards and things like that. So you can think about everyday business users just earning crypto just by spending money. That's just going to hit the mainstream big time. And then there's a whole bunch of things around NFTs. So we had NFT Fest in Australia. We had a whole bunch of artists and content creators and transmedia creators that were presenting and how they moved their business model to Web3. So this is sort of stuff that I was really looking forward to and still am looking forward to with White Mirror, because this is a great opportunity for creators like yourselves to I guess, get the energy that's in the crypto markets right now with the NFTs and the Metaverse. And you can use off-the-shelf tools like Immutable to create these platforms. So what is Web3, or what is Metaverse, right? You would have seen all this hype around these virtual worlds, right? Just think about Ready Player One, Matrix, even the Matrix 4, that the movie coming out, you've got a whole bunch of hype surrounding it with these NFTs from the Matrix. And so you're owning a piece of like all these avatars. The website went down because there's too much demand on the pre-orders. They're pretty much like Fortnite or Minecraft, these worlds. So Sandbox is like Minecraft, but the underlying technology that enables the assets in Sandbox, like whether it's digital land, digital skins, your avatars, digital objects in these Minecraft-like worlds, that's all on the blockchain, and they have their native token. So Sandbox is sand. You have Decentraland, which is more like Fortnite, looks like it. That's more like that underlying token is called mana, right? So all these mystical, magical things all coming back into reality. And you've seen, a whole bunch of these crypto punks and Bored Ape Yacht Clubs and NFT avatars, these profile pictures that are selling for tens of millions of dollars, because it gives them access to a community that is sort of on the luxury brand list, right? It's kind of like having a Ferrari in the virtual metaverse, right? That's where they're getting at, and it gives you exclusive access to community offerings. But really, it does feel like all very bubbly right now. It does feel like there's a lot of money pumping into these digital artworks or underlying tokens or these NFTs. But at the same time, you look at it and you go, well, that's because there is a demand and supply for it. Just like the artwork world, this is how rich people essentially put their money and have a store of value, or be able to show that off to their people. So that is the same concept with these NFTs. But these virtual worlds are being built out. So let's say compare this to 2017, when none of this was out. It was all really just a bunch of slide decks. Today we have things that you can actually use, like Decentraland, like Sandbox, and you can actually build in these virtual worlds. You can actually get eyeballs because there's actual users in these worlds. That's why South Korean banks are there now. They've got the virtual branches in the virtual world. Bill Gates thinks we'd be using Microsoft Teams in the Metaverse because it's 2024. And then property developers in real life are actually working with these virtual world platforms, these Metaverse platforms like Sandbox, like this Hong Kong property tycoon Adrian Cheng, who's essentially pivoting his business from physical real estate to digital real estate. And yeah, $106 million in virtual land sales in 1 week. Pretty bubbly. But Kathy Woods from ARK Invest, she thinks, this is just the beginning. Metaverse could be a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity, because if you think about everything in the physical economy, take away the physical boundaries of that, and you get the metaverse. So what does it all mean in terms of metaverse? So we've got Web3, we talk about tokens, that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the altcoins. We've got decentralized finance in Web3, so you can stake your coins, and with TransHuman Coin, right, you get automatic tokenomics that happens. NFTs we talked about, and then there's DAOs. That's what we were just talking about earlier. So decentralized autonomous organization. So that's all Web3. And then you have XR, so mixed cross reality, so virtual, augmented, mixed, immersive. And then there's the industries that they impact, whether it's fintech, prop tech, media, and brands. So Nike just decided to acquire an NFT company, and so Nike will be, I guess, issuing NFTs along with every single one of their branded products, like all the shoes and swag. So it's definitely everyone's just getting in on the opportunity because they know there's more money to make than just the physical goods. And then there's solutions like platforms you can build out. We've seen a lot of decentralized exchanges, DeFi marketplaces, but minting of NFTs, minting of coins, NFT marketplaces, all those sort of platforms, and even smart contract auditing platforms. Think about all the services you can provide, and ecosystems. That's building out your community and the nodes within the larger sort of ecosystem that you can bring together to give more value to your token and your projects. And then ultimately, there's the regulation side to deal with. So there's a lot of things to think about in this new metaverse world. Any questions on that so far?
Yeah, I'm interested in there's an international art event coming to Cleveland this upcoming summer, and it's called Front Triennial. They had it 4 years ago because of COVID, but this will be the second year that they've had it. And local artists are saying, well, how do we get involved? There's this international art audience that's coming to our city. And I'm saying, well, there's a couple ways that we could get involved. I think the way to have the most positive impact on local artists is to basically have people come away from this event saying, wow, there was art everywhere. Whether or not they remember, who the artists' names were or what it was, to build up, and part of the aim of this festival is to build up the reputation of the city as an artistic city, and city that has art. So one of the ways that I'm going to be working on showing local art is through projection, public projections, looking into doing markerless AR to display local artists' work in public spaces that you could only see with AR, your phone, and looking into NFTs as a way for local artists to put our art into the market, whether or not somebody actually has a physical place to exhibit their work. So I know I've had some conversations. I know that there are it's not just all about gas fees anymore. There are other ways to get into creating or mining or whatever it is, the NFTs for local artists. I don't quite remember what those are. But
you can use OpenSea and you can select to mint on Polygon. So instead of Ethereum, it's Polygon, and you actually can mint it for free. and then it's the buyer that pays for the gas and minting costs.
Okay, so it's called Polygon.
Yeah, so go to OpenSea.io.
OpenSea.io.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
And then you can decide to mint anything on using the Polygon network.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll show you how afterwards as well.
Love it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Sounds good. And then, yeah, that's what we're looking to do as well. We're trying to create an event at KPMG just to have all the local artists showcase their digital work and then even physical work. And we actually help them make and mint the NFTs there so that the people, the clients, our clients in the industry that come to the event can actually buy it at the event and actually speak to the artists and talk about, learn about their stories. So it's a great initiative. And those international events are definitely worth jumping onto. All right. But yeah, I think we touched on this on the central bank digital currency stuff. So yeah, it's all happening. I mean, China's got theirs, they're testing it already out. They should be ready by the Beijing Winter Olympics. They're already doing second phase of cross-border digital yuan trials with Hong Kong. French, European countries all trying it out in Africa and Nigeria, because there's actually a crypto first community over there. They've only got mobile first and they went crypto first. The government's struggling to get the local people to use fiat. So they've come up with their own e-Naira digital currency, central bank digital currency to battle out cryptocurrency. And Indonesia as well, considering. And yeah, I think Australia is pretty much almost there to start thinking about and launching our own central bank digital currency. Only because you want to interoperate with all these trading partners, because you can't be the last one left when you're the last one left with non-smart money. The interoperability has to happen for cross-border trade to happen efficiently. And then you've got countries like El Salvador, they're just treating Bitcoin as legal tender. So they've just minted a $1 billion Bitcoin bond and received $300 million already in commitments. And this is to put into, like fiat, receive fiat, and then buy Bitcoin with that, and also invest the other half into infrastructure in the country. And they're building a Bitcoin city. And so, like this, the president over there, he actually can trade the Bitcoin on his mobile. Because I was joking that on Twitter he bought the dip, but people asking, how'd you buy the dip? And you're just waiting around in your PC, and he's like, no. President Bukele on his Twitter just says, no, I do it on my mobile. So what's the transparency? What's the processes around using your government treasuries to buy Bitcoin? That's a different question. But yeah, that's already implemented. So the Chivo wallet in El Salvador is what all the citizens will be able to use to transact for goods and services with Bitcoin. And the vendors, the retailers cannot settle in Bitcoin. They can still choose to settle in the previous local currency, but they have to accept Bitcoin. So the real-time translation can happen. Yeah, because it's actually legal tender. The next other countries in South America, this is the predictions on CoinMarketCap. So Paraguay is looking like the top contender with all the other South American countries, then Venezuela and Anguilla and Panama. So, it's like a domino effect. You can see it'll be like this European Union, when all the countries that adopt Bitcoin as legal tender start to bond together and transact on the Bitcoin blockchain, and they can form their own trading pact that way. So it's more and more likely that's going to happen. And you can see the sort of different scales of countries that are sort of pro and anti-crypto, spending crypto, accepting decentralized finance, allowing exchanges and things like that. So all the countries are on various spectrums, but predominantly they have institutional acceptance, exchange and wallet availability. So that comes to TransHuman Coin. I mean, the reason why there's such an explosion of activity in the space is that it's so easy to do something like this. So I've actually worked with Roy Scherfen. I think it was 3 weeks ago, or about 3 weeks ago, Anuraj. And
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Rod,
he's about to get on actually. He just
Oh,
called me a few minutes ago, so he's
oh, great.
going to join us very shortly. He's just driving to the
Let's see
office.
how he's doing. So I actually worked with Roy to mint his own token, and that took us about 15 minutes or something. So, it's so easy to do it. And TransHuman Coin is no different, right? It's just a token on the Binance Smart Chain, but it's because it's actually built on a community that we've been building for the last 7 years, just Transhumanism Australia. And transhumanism as a movement, that's been going on since the 70s, right? How do you use science and technology to extend our healthy lifespans, to enhance our intelligence, and to improve our well-being? So we transcend these limitations of our human physical biology. So this is sort of the slides we typically use to explain TransHuman Coin. What is it? Why does it exist? How does it work? How does it help the movement? How will it grow as part of the team? Upcoming milestones, and how do I buy? Are there anything particular do you want me to go through, or are you happy for me to just keep running and wrap it up?
I think just keep running actually. Yeah, it's a good overview. So a lot of people were interested in that. So yeah, thanks, man.
All right, thanks, Eric. So TransHuman Coin, what is it? So we've all heard of Bitcoin, we've all heard of Ethereum, so the smart contracts equivalent, and then we've seen all these meme coins, all these dog coins, right? There's Dogecoin, there's Shiba Inu, so all its cousins and siblings. We've got the Dogelon Mars, we've got Floki, Frunk Puppy. There's so many dog coins out there. I can't even count them. There's like a Wakanda Inu or something like that. I'm like, Wakanda, that's a panther. It's not even a dog. But there's all these meme coins. They're getting a lot of activity because it's like they're trying to build all these communities around jokes and memes. And then when Elon Musk adopted Dogecoin, that actually validated it, and actually could be pretty funny when it actually becomes a payments infrastructure when the Starlink gets in protocol. The Starlink creates a payments protocol, which will have billions of people that it can reach. So Dogecoin, that was essentially a fork of Litecoin, and that's actually pretty good for payments. So the irony will, the fate will really love irony when that happens. Similar with these joke Doge coins, and as Dogelon Mars, that was actually donated to Vitalik. So half the supply was donated to Vitalik Buterin, who's the founder of Ethereum. And they thought that was a way to say, look, we're actually burning half the supply, right? It's a way to lock away the supply, and that should increase the demand, and so essentially increase the price, because the demand will be the same, supply goes down. But Vitalik decided to swap what he was donated in Dogelon Mars into ETH, and he donated that ETH to the Methuselah Foundation, which is a life extension research charity. And there was also a whole bunch of Dogelon Mars left, and he donated that as well to the Methuselah Foundation. And then, funny enough, Methuselah Foundation actually became the stewards of this Dogelon Mars meme token. And so what started as a joke has now become the official sort of token that's stewarded by a charity. And it's been now known as a charity token. And they've actually donated to a space project, and actually launched a scientific project in space. So, and they eventually will become on Mars. So this Doge Elon Mars thing will actually come to fruition. Same with Shiba Inu, that was donated by Vitalik Buterin to the Indian COVID Relief Fund. And then the COVID Relief Fund became the stewards of that token. And then actually a lot of Indian communities now use Shiba Inu to transact between each other, because that's actually the way to show support for the COVID relief. And so, yeah, this is ironic that the joke coins are now actually useful. And then there's the transhumanism movement. So we thought, well, why does it have to start with a joke, or something that was unintentional? And we could also have that sort of community that we've already built out. And it's 2 million transhumanists out there in the world, and growing. And then as science and technology evolves, we'll be able to jump on board with new ones. And so we create our own token, and it's called TransHuman Coin, research and charity oriented token on the Binance Smart Chain. And Binance Smart Chain is a fork of Ethereum, but allows for faster transactions and high volumes and very low fees, because it's using the proof of stake authority consensus mechanism. Whereas Ethereum hasn't upgraded yet to proof of stake, it's still on proof of work like Bitcoin. So it still takes up a lot of energy. So Binance is actually more environmentally friendly right now. It does sacrifice some decentralization as a result of that consensus mechanism. So yeah, why does it exist? So again, actually, it started out in South Africa. A team of transhumanists there. So Dr. Charles AUS, he's a cybersecurity expert, and he's also the founder of Gemsbrock Group. So he's quite an entrepreneur. They do e-commerce. They do online freelance platform skills as well. And also, yeah, he's got a biochemistry background. So yeah, it was great for him to pivot from what he was doing to TransHuman Coin, to actually get more people to adopt transhumanism as part of the movement, because he saw what was happening over there in South Africa. They have a vaccination rate of 22% because of their religious beliefs. And yeah, he needed to, get on this movement in Africa to get them to adopt science and technology as a way to help save lives. And Africa was already going through a cryptocurrency revolution. I think 32% of Nigerians actually use cryptocurrency, and they have an entire ecosystem of crypto first fintech out there already. Yeah, e-Naira now out as well. And we've got a Singularity Youth South Africa presence as well. So Mick Mann, Benji Rossman, a whole bunch of guys that we've been working with. So there's now collaboration between Charles and Singularity South Africa, who are hosting a Metaverse event in March. So Mick and his Africa Rare platform. So that's an NFT project. He's actually building out like a Metaverse himself. So based on what he's been doing in the XR space with Mozilla Hubs, he's updating the back end to support a token, which will be like Decentraland and the Sandbox, so people can buy virtual land in the Metaverse. And he's calling it Ubuntu land, right? So Ubuntu,
wow.
yeah, it's
Oh my God.
family, right? Yeah, so
Yes.
that's happening. And he's going to allocate a whole bunch of space in the virtual world, in his virtual world, to the tribes in Africa, like the Zulu. There's a Zulu area, and yeah, they'll be able to be supported by the likes of Deloitte and a whole bunch of strategic partners help them make it reality.
Yes, yeah, we had a really good sister summit just a couple of months ago. Singularity Youth South Africa. Peter and I have both been speaking at that, and quite actively. It was a really good session in VR actually, with the African animals and bringing in obviously this nature and connection also with the metaverse. So, and as Peter said, Ubuntu land, I think there's some really deep rooted connections of ancient wisdom that can be connected with this really high-end technology that we're exploring here. So there's some very interesting concepts there coming out of this whole thing.
Yeah. Sorry, Anurag, you sound like a robot just then. I think your audio is starting to lose.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Was it? Well,
Yeah.
I've got a aftershock headphones on.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something to do with that. Oh, sorry. Okay.
That's cool. No, yeah, we got the gist of it there.
Okay. Good.
That's cool.
And Roy's joined us. So, hey, Roy. Welcome.
Hey, Roy. What's going, mate?
Hello, sorry, I don't have my Bluetooth or anything with me. My audio is a bit awful.
No
That's
worries.
right. Yeah, all good. I'll just keep going and then we can have a
Yeah,
chat.
keep it. Sorry.
Yeah. So in terms of how TransHuman Coin works, so 2%, it's tokenomics. So every transaction, every buy, a sell, or a transfer, 2% of the transactional volume. Sorry, I think someone's, is that you, Roy? Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Right.
that's right.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, 2% of the transactional value goes to the liquidity pool. So this is how like people actually buy and sell out of TransHuman Coin. There is a liquidity pool between Binance Coin and TransHuman Coin that allows people to trade in and out of it. And it's sort of, the more people try to buy, the more Binance, I guess the less they can buy, because it's causing the demand in the liquidity pool. So it's very flexible, depending on what the demand and supply there in the pool. But 2% of every transaction goes to the pool. Another 2% goes to the marketing wallet, so we can actually keep promoting TransHuman Coin and transhumanism with that budget. and another 2% goes to the existing holders. So you actually get rewarded for just holding the token, because every 2% gets distributed on a pro rata basis to your wallet. But also that includes the TransHuman Fund wallet, which currently has about 7% of the total market cap of TransHuman Coin. That's sitting around $8 million. And yeah, 7% of that is actually how much we can actually donate to transhuman projects. There's a max supply like Bitcoin of 7 billion. So, you know, that's trying to represent that we want TransHuman Coin to be held by every individual on the planet. Obviously, there's a lot more people now. So hopefully we can get fractional, more fractional at least, into everyone. But yeah, that's essentially how it works. It encourages long-term holding, but it actually, you know, we want people to hold TransHuman Coin on their balance sheet to represent that they support transhumanism as a movement, but also they can donate that to themselves, to others. And the benefit is that the more people adopt TransHuman Coin, the higher the value goes because of the network effect. And that actually improves the balance sheet positions of these projects that we donate to. You know, we have a scientific advisory board that determines where the funds go. So actually it's chaired by Dr. Avinash Singh from the University of Technology in Sydney. And yeah, he actually specializes in brain-computer interfaces. So he's the chair of the scientific advisory board that is independent and votes on where the funds go to each month. So we've already made a donation of 10 million TransHuman coins to lifespan.io. And these guys are essentially a crowdfunding platform for life extension and healthy life extension projects. So they've raised millions of dollars in the past already for projects that have actually gone into clinical trials. So yeah, by donating to them, I think we actually can have the most impact. And Keith Comito over there has been great to, you know, promote TransHuman Coin as well throughout his community. They have the channels Life Noggin and also Lifespan News. So they made a dedicated video on TransHuman Coin through Ryan O'Shea, who's awesome as well. And Brent Nally, who just interviewed Andrew Steele on I think it's called Limitless, something like that. Yeah. So Andrew Steele's new book on being able to live indefinitely is actually within the realm of physics. So there's a whole bunch of things that we have to do as well around donations to Buck Institute, Methuselah Foundation, who already have Dojo on Mars. Vita DAO is another project that is essentially a DAO structure that turns IP, intellectual property, into NFTs, and that's held by the DAO's treasury. And then when that IP gets commercialized, the royalties that flow from that commercialized IP flow back to the treasury on behalf of the DAO holders. So it's a way of great innovation around how you can fund these IP around longevity, which is what they're focused on, directly by the community. And there's all these transhumanist parties as well, politics. We want to influence the policy measures such as treating the aging process as a disease. You know, we need organizations like the FDA to recognize the aging process could be treatable. So in order to subsidize and approve these drugs that are looking to treat the aging process. So we need that policy in place. There's a whole bunch of other organizations like the International Longevity Alliance and Humanity Plus. So Dr. Natasha Vidamore is now also part of our scientific advisory board. She's one of the early leaders and continues to be a great leader of the transhumanism movement. And yeah, she's like 70 or so years old, but she looks like she's in their 50s, which is great. In terms of growing, so yeah, more hodlers of TransHuman Coin. So whether it's a startup, we want all these companies to directly hold TransHuman Coin, because a lot of these companies, especially the ones that are private companies, people can't directly invest in them unless you're something like an accredited investor and get in on these private investment rounds. Everyday individuals can't support these projects unless it's like a donation or something like that. But typically you want to be able to have an interest in them. And by providing TransHuman Coin and getting these companies to hold it on their balance sheet, this is a way for the community to support all the transhuman projects out there. Same with even public companies, right? We know these, the CRISPR companies, the mRNA companies, the senescence companies, and super intelligent companies looking at artificial general intelligence like DeepMind and OpenAI, and Tesla, who already holds Bitcoin on their balance sheet, they could also support transhumanism by holding TransHuman Coin on the balance sheet. So I see sort of in the future, kind of like an ESG, environmental social governance, they could actually represent what they stand for by holding these community tokens on the balance sheet, these organizations. So putting their money where their mouth is. And organizations like Neuralink, that's essentially what we want to sort of accelerate as a movement. So we already have, actually, this is a very old slide. We now have 12,000 TransHuman Coin holders. This slide was from 2 months ago. So we're growing at 4x every 2 months. So, this is very exponential growth, and hopefully we'll get to, 100,000 the next time in 2 more months, right? This is sort of that quadrupling. So what we need is, I guess, more awareness of TransHuman Coin, because there's still a lot of transhumanists we haven't onboarded, because cryptocurrencies is actually something, first and foremost, it's not very easy to get on board with, especially when you're looking at decentralized finance, which is TransHuman Coin. So we're trying to promote this on Twitter and using things like memes to get these early crypto adopters to know about the project. So a lot of cryptocurrency people who don't know about transhumanism will join the movement. Got all these memes going on, especially with the Matrix. Got these deep fakes happening. But Dr. David Sinclair, who's here, is I think is fighting Thor or something like that. And we've got, this is Jeff Bezos deep faked across the mummies bad guy, and then you got Elon Musk, who is the who, I forgot the Egyptian guy right there. There's all these memes. I don't know if these memes work or not, but yeah, they're just trying to get the word out, right? So and also understanding all the different leaders that we have in the longevity, intelligence, and well-being space. So yeah, Charles, myself, and Elise. She's part of the management team as well, and Avinash, part of the scientific advisory board, who chairs it. And we have a whole bunch of doctors and people in the healthcare space, part of the scientific advisory board as well. We've got him in US Transhumanist Party, Art Ramon, and Jonathan Woods, who's in Australia. He's contracting with CBA at the moment, but he's an experienced risk specialist who's been very helpful for us as well. We also have our NFT that's available right now. So if you guys haven't checked it out already, it's at THCNAZA, THCNAZA.com. And so you can actually buy these NFTs with Binance Coin already. So the trick is trying to get some Binance Coin into your MetaMask or your Trust Wallet to buy it. But you can mint these NFTs, and what you're doing is you're able to use that as your ticket to all the future Metaverse events that TransHuman Coin and Transhumanism runs. So we're working with all the festivals and conferences like RadFest, like TransVision, like the End Aging Related Diseases Conference, and the drug discovery meetings, and the longevity investors and the Singularity Group guys, all using this NFT as your ticket to the conference. And we'll work with each of them based on the funding we get from the NFTs to support these tickets. And Bo, as our developer, yeah, he's been great. So Bo's the one also working with Singularity South Africa on their Metaverse backend to have a dedicated space of TransHuman Coin and our NFTs there.
This might be what we were about to talk about. Peter, I think at some point I saw that you were like looking for artists to design NFTs related to TransHuman Coin. Is that what you're going to talk about? Is that still going?
Right. That's right. So yeah, we're waiting for this first drop to finish. So this first drop of this THCNAZA.com, the Neural Astronomy Zone Ancillary, that's what it stands for. So that's by Sai, who works at in digital media at RMIT. So we're finishing this drop on the 23rd of December. And after that, we'll be minting the community NFTs that were provided through the Google form. Do you still have that form link there, Robert? You good? Thanks, Anuraj, for sharing as well.
Oh, the form?
Yeah, it's just a Google form. So if you want to submit like an artwork, just attach it to the Google form, and we'll mint it after the 23rd.
Cool. I'll make sure to get with Anuraj about that form. I'll just make a note of it.
Yeah, awesome. I'll pop the link in the chat after this.
You can just share it here, Peter. Yeah, on the white mirror chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes, so this is the example of the community artwork that was submitted. This is from Jugnu in India, and she's designs all these, kids t-shirts and things, but she's actually got a real passion for transhumanism, and so she submitted these 2 artworks from Jugnu. Her Instagram handle is firefly_firefly, so go check her out. But she'll be one of the ones that will be showcasing as well. There's an event this Thursday. I'm not sure if you guys saw the chat, and the TransHuman Metaverse event. We'll be hosting that on Thursday night, and it'll be in Spatial. So Spatial, the XR platform. They've actually pivoted entirely to the NFT gallery solutions. So it's so easy to use, and so many projects are using Spatial to showcase their NFTs. And I'll give you a quick tour after this as well if we have time. But yeah, so this is what it looks like. This is the Spatial XR galleries. It's drag and drop in spaces for Jugnu's photos. We've got all these hodlers. We saw profile pictures and other community artwork. So happy to, Robert will get you to submit those, and we'll put it in here as well.
Cool. I'm going to be utilizing, don't remember what the tool is, but it's you give it prompts and it's AI generated artwork. And so I'm going to be creating prompts based on lyrics of a song that I wrote that relates to the story that I'm developing with White Mirror.
Nice.
Yeah. So these AI generated artworks can also be put together as a mini comic. It could be put together as part of a music video that goes along with the song. And it could also be utilized in some of this digital crypto art.
True transmedia. Exactly.
Yeah, transmedia.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very good.
Nice.
I'm just looking for the link. Here it is. Copy link, show URL, copy. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat now. I remember. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys here. I'll pop in the Eventbrite link as well, because that's on Thursday night, 6 p.m. Sydney time. So I'm not sure what time that is in the States. Hopefully that's not too early. I'm giving Natasha Vitamore a private tour at 3 hours before the event starts as well, because she lives in the States. So if you want to join earlier, let me know. And also utility behind TransHuman Coin. So we actually, as I mentioned, Charles owns the Sahara Skills, which is a freelancer.com equivalent over there. So it's like e-commerce as well. So we're combining goods and services, and the ability to pay TransHuman Coin for goods and services in Africa. So that will actually increase adoption and utility of TransHuman Coin. So that way people just join the circular economy and just treat that as their currency, because they can earn TransHuman Coin, they can buy things in TransHuman Coin. They don't need to leave the ecosystem that way. You can put all these merch in the books and other things like supplements and other things that come out to the market that'll help increase our healthy life extension. So the roadmap, this is actually quite dated, so we've already been listed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. So you can search for us, TransHuman Coin, and the ticker is THC. So it's a bit of initially started as a joke, because you can see the green sort of motif happening as well. And we're trying to list our NFTs on the secondary market of PancakeSwap, so you can then sell your NFTs onto the secondary market for other people and list it on PancakeSwap. Yeah, that's coming soon too. And we're looking to list on Binance, Coinbase, FTX, and I think the first one will be Gate.io. We've already listed on a centralized exchange called CoinsBit. It's not that good, CoinsBit, so yeah, we're hoping the others will be better. Yeah, that's a roadmap, and eventually we want to build things like play to earn, Metaverse type things where the NFTs will have more utility, and also a decentralized research center for TransHuman Coin, so we can actually fund virtual labs to work on the projects that are funded through the community. And also we want to be able to bridge not just in Binance Smart Chain, but to Ethereum 2.0 when that comes out, Cardano, SingularityNet, Pulse Chain, Solana. Cardano is a bit disappointing because there's not enough developers there yet, and they're still testing out the technology, but hopefully that'll come through with Charles Hoskinson. There's another awesome project called Proof of Humanity. That's on Ethereum at the moment, but what it's enabling you to do is validate, verify unique humans on the Ethereum network by, peer-to-peer validation. So if someone recognizes you and says, yeah, I vouch for this person, and then that gets put onto the blockchain. People can contest that, but if everyone's happy, you become registered as a Proof of Humanity member. And then once you're registered, you get universal basic income tokens, UBI tokens. You get 1 UBI every hour. 1 UBI is about 20 cents Aussie. So it's not that much, but I think Vitalik at one point bought a lot of UBI tokens and then burnt it. So it was worth $1 at one point. So I have about 3,000 UBI. I was like, holy crap, $3,000. But then, it went back down after a lot of people sold it. It's just interesting. But it's free to register, but you need Ethereum. So you need a deposit of 0.185 ETH, I think. So it's still a lot of money, especially, that's quite prohibitive for people in the emerging markets. And also the gas fees. So it takes about maybe 5 transactions to complete. Every transaction, was like $50. So you end up forking a bit of money up front for the gas fees. So hopefully that'll go away when Ethereum 2.0 happens, or when they use some other network that has lower fees. Yeah, you can buy us on PancakeSwap. There's another one, new solution that's out as well. I'll link it to you guys, but it's called Swift Blockchain, and what that is, it's a aggregator of all the centralized exchanges as well as decentralized exchanges, and we can actually now swap from over 250 coin pairs, so any network as well. So whether it's Ethereum or Binance or Polygon or a whole bunch of networks, now you can swap that for TransHuman Coin. So we joke that you can now trade your shit coins for TransHuman Coin. If you think your coins aren't going to be worth anything, you might as well get some TransHuman Coin out of it, especially during the dip. So a lot of people did, like all their Wakanda Inus and Flokis, they all traded TransHuman Coin because this is actually doing something in public good. And we've just released an article on Crypto for Good. So I'm not sure if you guys saw that in the chat. That's where I think a lot of Crypto for Good projects are sitting, and I think it'd be great to include something like what we just talked about earlier. Was it who else? Was it Kim? Yeah, I'd be happy to update that article to include your project in there, in the Crypto for Good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, that's the TransHuman Decent. It's just a visualization of the metaverse, what it'll look like, but really it's going to be actual virtual labs all around the world. Yeah, this is the website. Any questions there?
Thank you so much for that, illuminating. I will work with Anuraj to connect with you later. Anuraj has very generously organised for our Positive Prime research with Avinash, so that we're doing all sorts of amazing things, eye tracking, skin conductance, EEGs, ECGs, etc., etc.
That's
for
awesome.
Positive Prime. So we're super lucky, and this space is really heating up. I definitely feel like I can help with spreading the news for the TransHuman Coin. So we should definitely talk sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that sounds good. Same with the
right.
Yeah, I think there's a few dots to connect. Exactly what Kim just said. The Positive Prime, and also I think what we've been discussing in Wise Mirror and with Roy, the Karmanaut, which Peter, you kindly helped with helping get set up. So I think putting it all together, there's a lot of that Crypto for Good, exactly what you just wrote on, Peter. I think I'll definitely catch up on that very soon article. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was like this could all fall under the Karmanauts umbrella, because it's like linking these Crypto for Good communities. So check out that article, Roy, if you get a chance, and see all the other projects on it. But I'll add Positive Prime to it for sure, Kim. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, and tag me. All right, awesome. I know that you're all busy. I really appreciate it, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, Kim.
Bye.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah,
I think
Roy,
was there any other questions?
Anuraj, you still sound like a robot.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Is that better? Is it? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that's much
Probably
better.
not. Is it better? Okay.
That's
Yeah,
much
I was
better.
just going to give a shout out to Troy, who's also on, you know, doing some amazing work with I Am Connected and with transformative technologies. I don't know, Troy, if you wanted to come and say a few words, or, you know, we've obviously we've been working closely on so many interesting things. I know you've been interested in crypto and doing some stuff there. If you had any questions or any comments on that.
For you, Peter, I've been part of the Facebook Messenger group, just more following along. I went to one of your last events in TransHuman Coin. I tried to buy it. I still haven't managed to nail buying THC yet, but I've got my MetaMask. I've got the Binance coins. I just haven't been able to link the two. But yeah, transhumanism, just like the whole singularity that 2045 point is just super exciting for me, and obviously I think transhumanism is a key part of that. So me, with I Am Connected, I'm more working day to day with people, just helping people to integrate wearable technologies into their everyday lives, to know themselves more effectively, start optimizing themselves organically, as well as exploring, well, how does technology help to extend our abilities by integrating with technology. And so have been working with transformative technologies, movement to support entrepreneurs and innovators to build technologies, human-centered technologies, to help us to evolve, to elevate human consciousness. And Kim, that's how I met Anuraj, and yeah, got involved, well, got really interested in Singularity University, read Exponential Organizations quite a while ago. Yeah, so this space is really interesting to me. I think it's the most to be involved in anyway.
Some audio there. Maybe I don't, probably broadband issues I'm having.
Yeah, I lost a bit of audio too, just letting you know.
I'm not sure what you heard and what you didn't heard. I was talking for a bit.
No, just the last 30 seconds, I think. Last 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. Maybe.
I want
we
to.
lost you.
Let me look here.
I'll just turn off. I think Zoom's being overworked. It seems. Maybe turn off.
Might be
video.
my AirPods.
Oh, yeah, that's better now. Fine. Yeah, that's good.
Is that?
Yeah. That's can hear you fine.
Yeah, sorry, my AirPods are on their way out. Yeah, no, I was just saying that I love what TransHuman Coin stands for, and love to support wherever I can, and starting with buying some. So yeah, it'd be great to, like I said before, I have tried a couple of times. I've spent a couple of hours. I'm still getting my head into the crypto space, but I got my MetaMask and I watched a couple of videos on how to do it. Got the Binance coin, transferred it to my MetaMask wallet, but for whatever reason, it didn't sync up. So I haven't been able to exchange it yet.
That's all right. Yeah, no, thanks for trying, right? Troy, it's so there's this new one called Swift blockchain. So that should make things a lot easier.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've just popped it in the WhatsApp chat. You're in that one, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's on brand as well. So we've got like a branded swapping page now with TransHuman Coin and the other 250 coins available. So just choose in the receiving end, it's TransHuman Coin. You can swap it with things like Binance Coin or Ethereum, or other tokens on the Ethereum blockchain, or Polygon, Matic, or Solana. Yeah, pretty much like any token can be swapped for TransHuman Coin now.
Okay.
Great.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm excited for your event on Thursday as well. So that's like you said, it's going to be in spatial. So we'll like being virtual. It's okay to attend. I've not done anything in spatial before, but
So
keen
yeah,
to
you can use, yeah, you can join on the PC as well. So you don't need a VR headset, which is good.
yeah, cool.
Yeah, looking forward to yeah, meeting you. You're there. The avatars are the coolest, like in spatial. Like when you first create it, you just take a photo and then it automatically makes an avatar for you. So it's like hit and miss. It's like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's kind of like uncanny valley.
I think they've got the Mac version also working now, right, Peter? Because I know we tinkered a lot with spatial last year.
Yeah.
Just at the beginning of the pandemic, it was still in beta stage. I haven't used it for a while though. Yeah.
Yeah, they've full pivoted towards NFTs now. So if you look at the new website,
Right.
it's all about showcasing NFT galleries and the metaverse.
So details for the spatial. I know I registered, but I didn't seem to get the Eventbrite details come through. How do I make sure that so you go to spatial.io and then what do you do from there?
Yeah, the spatial room, I can actually send you the link to that now. We've got some chat there. I think that's the TransHuman Coin spatial room. Yeah, TransHuman Coin NFT gallery. And yeah, you can get an early preview. There's just so much content in there that it takes ages just to load. All right. Yeah, I think I'll call it there. I've got to run to another call, guys.
Okay, no worries. Yeah,
great to see everyone, and looking forward to maybe on Thursday. I'll catch you guys there.
Sure. Thanks,
Peter.
Peter. Really been amazing. Yeah.
Guys.
We'll see you soon. Yeah. Cheers.
Bye.
I think we'll wrap up then. So yeah, thank you, Samantha,
Amazing.
Troy,
Thank you.
Ross. We'll see you next week. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.